Wow.
Wow!
So, Child's Play.
Yeah, well,
Is it funny or is it scary? Or a little bit of both?
not scary.
No?
not
Yeah.
scary.
I mean, it has some creepy elements in it,
Yes.
to be fair.
I would say
Well, I jumped.
the ending, the crispy ending is, it's got some horror elements, but mostly funny, I would say.
But I mean, the idea in and of itself of a living doll that stalks people and kill, I mean, it's not a new
Well,
idea, but
It's Toy Story, just for adults.
it's evil Toy Story.
Evil Toy Story.
If you want to be mean to your kids, you show this to them instead of Toy
Yeah.
Story.
Well, it did spawn a lot of, what would you say?
Sequels?
Nah, it did spawn a lot of
Knockoffs, I guess.
creepiness towards dolls
Yeah.
for a period.
Yeah.
At least I grew up with being told that I shouldn't watch this movie because it's fucked up.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the idea itself is not new because Twilight Zone did it in the Living Doll episode in the 60s, but this introduced it to a new generation
yeah,
who hadn't watched the Twilight Zone. And I mean, yeah, what's the movie about? I mean,
well, it's about a serial killer who's on the brink of death, and then he transfers his soul into this little toy
So there's
made for
really-
small children.
really creepy children's toy.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Chucky, and I'm your friend to the end. Heidi ho!
Which you would definitely not make for children.
If that thing existed in the real world,
Yeah.
that company would go
No.
bankrupt.
Yes, definitely. I would never give that to my kid.
But yeah, then the serial, or then the doll turns serial killer again, and then
Yeah.
he learns that he has to transfer his soul into the first living being he told his secret to.
Yeah.
You have to transfer your soul out of the doll into that of the first human being you revealed your true self to.
You mean the first person I let in on the fact that I was really alive? I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. The first person I let in on my little secret was a 6-year-old kid.
Who happens to be a really gifted child actor. Who's really good.
Really,
Yeah.
really insanely good child actor. I mean, when he cried, it felt
Oh, that was
real.
hard.
It felt real.
Heartbreaking scene.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But Chucky is here! Then he's going to kill me! Kill me! Please don't leave me! Please!
Definitely.
And I mean, this is one of the good horror movies because usually the problem with horror movies is that the people who enter are really stupid and that they make stupid choices. And
The mother did, though.
yeah, she does. But my point is that the cops and the authorities and the doctors and the mother at the beginning, they all react like normal people would. I mean,
Yes.
your kid says, "Oh, the doll is talking to me. It is going to kill me."
Sure, kid.
Yeah.
Way to go.
So, but yeah, I actually think all the actors were pretty good in
Yes.
this. I mean, there weren't any lines where I was like,
Even the bums seemed real.
the what?
The bums.
Oh yeah, the very
Yeah,
awesome.
the
special
homeless
people.
people.
Yeah, the bums. Yeah. They
I
were
think we need to remember too that the movie was made in a different period with different effects, so
yeah, 86.
it might have seemed scary to people back then, but now it's just
I mean, if you watch this alone, it is going to be a little creepy.
Yeah.
Because the POV shots where the doll is walking and there's
Yes,
moody music.
absolutely.
I mean, if you're gonna sit and watch that alone, it's obviously going to make you sit like this and on edge.
Too many explosions, though.
It felt a bit like an action comedy.
Because they weren't necessary and they just felt out of place with the story and the scene. It was just.
Yeah.
I would think so
an
too if I
extra
was a woman
effect.
though.
You what?
I mean, it is a man's movie in terms of the explosions.
And the jokes. Fucking bitch!
You stupid bitch, you filthy slut! Did you fuck with me?
There is some very
Fuck
interesting.
you!
There's some very interesting verbal language in this movie. Some
Damn it!
very vulgar movie.
What an ugly doll.
Fuck you.
Ugly doll.
Fuck you.
Yeah, and is it just me or that line when he kills that voodoo guy who taught him how to do voodoo? That line about what he's about to do. Was an interesting line. I don't think I've heard a line like that in a movie before. You know.
What line? I can't exactly remember it.
You know he's about to kill off the guy and he goes like, "Well, John, it's been fun, but I gotta go.
Oh yeah.
I got a date with a 6-year-old boy."
Well, John, it's been fun, but I gotta go. I have a date with a 6-year-old boy.
That's iconic and creepy.
That's the best line in movie history, except for maybe at the end where they're finally killing the doll and it's like, "No, Andy, we're friends to the end. Remember, this is the end, friend."
Andy, no, please. We're friends to the end, remember?
This is the end, friend.
That was amazing. I mean, the price of admission at the theater was worth it just for that one line.
Yes.
But
Definitely.
I mean, the effects were pretty good. I mean, that's practical effects at a really high level for the time.
Really a high level.
I would say good effects actually for now as well.
Yeah, I mean, a lot
as well.
of the stuff we were talking about, and I think we talked about this in the blog review last year and the fly review last year, that you mentioned a lot of special effects in terms of practical effects are coming back since Star Wars started doing it. And I have not seen the new Child's Play movie that came out this year, but I imagine they're doing a lot of the same, like going back to the basics.
Yeah.
But whereas that movie has an ugly as fuck doll, the 2019 version, I showed it to you.
Yes, you did.
This one actually looks pretty good.
Yeah.
But I think the problem in general with monsters is that you make them too scary and then it just become just bland and not scary at all, because you try to make them look a different way and ooh, that's creepy, and make them look evil, but you can't. And it's the same thing when you see in general monsters in horror movies, that when you finally see the monster, the effect wears off because it's just not what you find scary, or
It's kind of a letdown.
yeah, you're often let down, and I think that might be the case as well here. And I think that was a good thing with this Chucky, because it wasn't made to look scary, it was made to look angry, but not evil and scary.
Yeah, and I mean that's I think the point you're trying to make is that no toy company would make their doll scary looking.
No.
And that's something the movie did really good, because a lot of the scary part of the doll is not how it looks,
No.
even though it is kind of creepy. It's more what it does.
Exactly.
That's nasty.
Exactly.
And scary. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. But I mean, I think pretty much this movie works on all levels. I mean, it's not Gone with the Wind. It's not an A movie in that regard.
No.
But it was a decent story. The effects were good and all the actors were fine.
Yes.
I would say it's a great B movie.
Yeah, it's a great B movie. It falls just short of an A movie, but it's very few horror movies that's an A movie.
Yeah.
Sadly. But I think we can all agree to recommend this movie to
Definitely.
if not horror fans, slasher fans, because this
Yeah,
is a
it's
slasher
more
movie.
slasher.
And
yeah.
comedy fans as well.
Yeah, and, I mean all the sequels as we talked about, they just turn into dark comedy.
Now, I would say the next two movies, Child's Play 2 and 3, they're actually, they do have some pretty decent horror elements in it.
Yeah,
Like, for example, a kid going into a basement and...
oh, that's right. It
Yeah.
follows Chucky and Andy. Andy is also in the sequels, I think.
And I would say they're actually more creepy At least the second one, I think. More creepy than this one.
Yeah,
They turn into real comedies with
when he goes to army camp and
with Bride of
What?
Chucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Jesus
I
Christ.
think I can't remember which one it is, but then they go and make an army camp movie, like a drill movie.
I think that's the third movie.
Yeah, that's maybe
Yeah.
the third one, and then he gets a bride, and he gets a son. Yeah, he's also in a wrestling match in real life with a wrestling announcer. I remember there was this show in WWE, Worldwide Wrestling, something, and this guy walks on stage on live television, just like, oh yeah, and I'm the best Chucky there's around, and then you see Chucky on like the monitor, and he's like, oh, I challenge you to a wrestling match, and that's cheesy as fuck.
That's fucking cheesy.
Yeah, but,
So we can agree that this could be watched by children. Because it's not scary and it's just
old
more
children,
like-
at least. Kids,
I mean, it's
that's.
very vulgar, so
I mean, I wouldn't show this
Didn't
to
stop
my
me,
small
though.
kids. No, I wouldn't.
well, it depends on the age, of course.
Yeah, but
that's
yeah,
how you determine whether it's a child or not. So.
I got a date with a 6-year-old.
that,
Really?
I-
Gotta go.
that's
With a 6-year-old.
that's going to be my goodbye line from now on when I'm out in town with a date that I don't want to go home with. Well, it's been fun, but I gotta go. I got a date with a 6-year-old boy.